back to the show. We're very fortunate to have our former superintendent, Roberto J. Santos, Bobby Santos, who's here with us today. Of course, he's running now for place 1.
District 3.
District 3, I apologize, at UISD. And we were able to get a hold of him at the last minute to see if he can come in, and he was nice enough to do so. Thank you for joining us, Bobby.
Well, again, Judge, thank you very much for inviting me. Again, I'm glad you're going to give me the opportunity to be able to share with the audience and our constituents what it is that I have to offer.
Well, I mean, I think most people know you, but before I ask about your background, can you tell us what area is District 3?
Yes. District 3 basically covers, if you start off at Del Mar, right where Alexander is, the Loop and Del Mar, everything south of Del Mar, and as you're going west, you go to McPherson, then you begin to go south of McPherson, and again, everything east of McPherson.
Okay.
Once you get to Calle del Norte, which is like going towards the mall, you know, you go, and then to hit Springfield, everything south there, then you go Springfield all the way to the end of, which is kind of basically everything east.
Hillside.
It's Hillside, Chaparral, Westgate.
The base area.
The base area, Alexander Estates.
Up to Saunders.
Up to Saunders. Then it picks up a little bit where Quet Elementary is,
Okay.
on 59.
Right.
The Colonias, and then also on
the other side.
359, also the Colonias, way at the end.
Right.
Not anything on the interstate.
It's a big area.
Yes, it is. It's a big area, but I think it's an area where I'm familiar with it, and obviously I will represent.
Well, of course. Now,
that
of
area.
course, how many years were you superintendent?
I was a superintendent for 16 years.
16 years. So you know those areas. You know all the schools. You know all the principals. You know pretty much all the children who have been raised through the last 16 years and their families in Laredo. So everyone knows who you are. There are areas though, Bobby, where you're very proud of certain projects. Could you tell us about?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things that I think we did as a group. It was never me. I mean, we're surrounded and blessed by a lot of good administrators, good principals, teachers, and custodials, administrative staff. But I think the thing that I'm really most proud, besides passing the bond election, which I think was extremely important, we were able to build 10 schools, and I think those 9th grade campuses really was the key to be able to have the success at the high school. But I think two things that I think I'm really, really proud of. One is the Sheriff Center. It's a center especially for special needs students.
Yes.
And a lot of good trainings there. That's extremely important.
And you brought in a lot of federal programs.
A lot of federal programs. And the other one that I think is important is the last 2 years I was here at United were rated A+ school district by TA. And we were one of the highest rating districts based on student population in the state of Texas, which, I mean, extremely proud. And again, it's really the teachers, everybody at the campus, the principals, everybody, because everybody does their part. Bus drivers, they bring the kids in, food services, they feed the students, and everybody works together to be successful.
Well, I can't think of any major projects that were big mistakes or anything that sort of stands out. I pretty much see a lot of accomplishments that happened during your tenure. But now that you've retired and you sort of relaxed somewhat, you want to come back and run for trustee.
Yes, I think I have a lot still to offer to the school district. And again,
you retired too early?
Well, I'm running as a school board member, not as superintendent.
Right.
You know, I'm retired. I think the whole idea of a board member is really to work as a team of 8.
Yes.
I mean, and the role of the board is very different than superintendent.
Right.
We set the policies, and again, superintendent administers the policies. Okay. So I think I can work well with the administration, work well with the board. You know, I'm familiar with them. They were there when I was there as superintendent. So I think I'm ready to roll up my sleeves and work with the board to continue to move United forward.
Are there any particular projects or areas that are either of concern or that you'd like to take it to the next level?
Well, I think there's 2 things that are extremely important at this point in time. One is student and employee safety. Mm-hmm. We need to make sure that our schools are secure and safe. We need to make sure that we have all the current technology to be able to identify anybody who walks into our schools if they're armed or not.
Well, obviously you were superintendent up to a year or 2 ago. You didn't have any issues. I mean, you had all your doors.
All the doors were locked. We also had a vestibule where when people would come to our schools, they had to go through that almost like a ticket booth.
Right.
They were locked in.
Yes.
But at the same time, we need to make sure that we also don't leave any of our doors open on the back. I know
Right.
it's sometimes you go out for recess or you go out and you leave it open. We can't afford to do that. We've got to train our staff, continue to train our staff.
Continue to train it.
Work also with all the law enforcement agencies in the city. Because, I mean, we work together.
Right.
And that's extremely important.
Right, right. So do you feel though that right now that obviously safety is number one for you? We're at UISD is pretty much safe. I mean, many of the policy procedures that you placed and the equipment and equipment that you have there was brought in during your tenure.
That's
So
right.
you feel pretty confident?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I think our schools are safe. You know, we have a licensed peace officer at every single campus, and at some campuses we have 2 or 3. And again, we work very close with the Laredo PD, the Sheriff Department, Border Patrol, Customs,
Right.
even the FBI agents work very close with our police department.
Well, it seems like you are obviously very knowledgeable about all the issues going on with the schools. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again the next couple of months. Hopefully you make yourself available for us. I do want to talk to you in the future, though, about any other security issues that you may see.
Sure.
The issue of the issue of corruption is an issue that permeates a part of the board or the potential of it, or at least the impression. And I'd like to have that discussion with you at a later time as well. And of course, the issue of where you'd like to take the board, or at least as a trustee, what you think you'd like to take the trustees and the superintendent. What else do you want to do for the school district? So I look forward to seeing you again. Now, the area again is from Del Mar C.
Yeah, basically, if you look at it, it's all Alexander States, where Alexander High School is at.
Yes.
The area where Newman Elementary is at.
Right.
Gutierrez Elementary is at. Cuellar Elementary. So that gives you a good idea.
That's where it
Yes.
goes all the way through Hillside and
Hillside, Chaparral.
Chaparral, all the way to close to Saunders, pretty much.
That's correct.
Cuts all the way through
To the base
area.
The base area, then it picks up a couple of
Cuellar
colonias
Elementary,
where Cuellar Elementary is.
That's a big area, so I know you have a lot of walking to do. So
Well, we're
I
getting
wanna
ready.
thank you.
We're going to start next Saturday.
I know you got your hands full, so I'm looking forward to seeing you again in September, and I wish you the best.
And I want to thank you for inviting me.
No, thank
Judge.
you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back with our next guest. Welcome back to the show. Thank you for watching. We're very lucky to have Ms. Gigi Rodriguez, who is running for City Council race number District 1.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
I
Thank you, Judge, for having me.
appreciate you making it. Now, again, can you tell us what is your district before I begin?
Yes, definitely. District 1, the area covers Century City, Los Presidentes, Cuatro Vientos. We have a side of Bright Ranch, Sierra Vista, Pitamangana,
Oh, so it cuts
Lindo.
up to the Zapata Highway.
Yes,
It's a big area.
yes. Let's say on Jaime Zapata, all the way to Cielito Lindo. From 83, you just go the left side.
Right.
Yeah, left
Right.
side.
Okay, it's a big chunk of property there.
It is.
Wow.
And especially District 1, I believe, is one of the districts that has the most growth.
Right,
in the
it does,
past
because
years.
it's got a lot of
And it's
space
gonna
to
keep
grow.
on
It can grow. There's a lot
growing.
right next to the loop.
Yes, a lot
Between-
of houses,
yes.
residential businesses are coming to
Right.
our district.
Well, it's a beautiful area as far as I'm aware. I mean, you got beautiful trees and especially the undeveloped area and the loop as you get into Cuatro Vientos. All that area
Yes,
is-
the back road
the
is
back road is
beautiful,
really
and
very
it's
nice.
a great asset.
Yes, definitely. So now, having said that, but you've been working for government on and off.
Yes, I've been lucky to work for various government entities such as United Independent School District,
Right.
Laredo Independent School District, City of Laredo, and
Okay.
Webb County.
Well, with your experience, how many years is that, más o menos, that you've?
I've been working, Judge, since age of 16.
My goodness. Well, I won't ask you how old you are, but I would imagine you're past 20. I don't know.
I'm 37 years old.
Okay.
I'm
So
37
you
years
put in
old.
a lot of years working for the schools in the county and the city.
Yes,
So you're familiar with the way government works.
yes, I am.
Well, what made you decide to run for office?
Living in District 1 and seeing all the needs and you know, all the how District 1 is growing and always being involved with the community, for me, is very important to be a part of it. I know I'm a hands-on woman that I can work hard and be a good advocate for District 1.
There was an issue brought up earlier when I was talking the other day to Mr. Bedmanes. He was talking about the water issue and how the water obviously is a major issue. It may not be a major issue in certain parts of the city, but one of the areas that gets affected is always the Heights area and South. And
District 1
District 1 has the
was
biggest problem.
one of the districts that was most affected with the water issue, and we were like weeks, like a week and a half without water. And I'm just
Well, so was I. I live in the Heights area, so that
Yeah.
it affected all of us.
and
But
it's
I have a
embarrassing
question.
for your
What is it shouldn't be happening, or at least it always happens to areas that are not, and it shouldn't, because you have great homes and the new subdivisions in South Laredo, except there's a water problem, there's a water sewer problems, and they haven't fixed it. Is that an issue that your constituency is talking to you about?
Yes, sir. That mainly because water is life.
Yeah.
I mean, we drink water, we cook with water. I mean, so it's a very important issue that first thing, that's one thing that I want to target.
Were you satisfied with the city services, or do you feel that there's a lot more that can be done?
There's a lot more that we can do that. With my experience, like I mentioned, in finance, budgeting, management, and customer service, I think all that combined brings a lot to the table in the city right now.
Right.
Finance, because I'm going to be able to firsthand see and be transparent with the community, with our finances, how we're allocating or budgeting the monies. And I hear a lot like it's the taxpayers' money.
Right.
Exactly. Like it's our money. So,
Right.
you know, because we all pay taxes.
That's right.
So by that saying, like, you need someone that is good in numbers and is going to be able to say, okay, like, this is the way we should
Do it.
to not have the issue, the problem of the water, for example. You hear so many different stories that you don't know what to believe, but not till you're there and you see it firsthand and do an action, like do something for it.
Do you think, what other issues do you think South Laredo,
Safety, a lot of safety. We do need a lot of safety, like speed bumps, traffic lights. We do have in South Laredo. I think it's a total of 7, 8 elementaries, 2 middle schools, 2 high schools.
So a lot of activity going on in South
Yes.
Laredo?
Yeah. Well, and not only District 1.
Right.
Okay. Because if you come to,
You still,
we
yeah,
still
District
have a
2
lot
and
more.
then of course
Yes.
part of District 3 is supposed to be part of South Laredo.
Exactly. So District 1 entitled all those elementaries. So, you know, we are surrounded by children that
Definitely.
we need to protect. I know a lot of people bring up the topic of Uvalde. That was a very harsh topic for a mother. And, you know, that when you have children, I remember I was devastated when I heard the news. And no lie, Judge, I am married to an elected official from the school board. So, and I would emphasize, like, our children going to be safe in schools, in campuses.
Does the district fit on both OISD and UISD?
Our District 1 just covers UISD.
UISD,
students.
okay, there was
Yes.
UISD as well. Wow. So you've got a big chunk of property there in terms of area to cover.
Yeah.
Do you feel, and I'm going to ask you a question that's kind of odd to ask, in terms of being, because you're a woman, and basically from the south side, we've had no other female representation for a good while. Is there a difference? Do you notice a difference, or is there people don't ask that question?
No, I think that's what the community is looking for. A woman to come and step in the game and be the advocate for District 1. I think we've that's what the people have been asking. Like,
But they
okay,
brought it up.
They have, but just in a positive way,
Right.
very positive way. And I'm very happy to be named.
Well, I see that because it seems logical that the community is made up of 50% women at least. So you figure 50% of public officials are women, but they're not.
And I feel District 1 needs a woman. They need that woman touch
Yeah.
to come in District 1 and beautify District
Right.
1.
Well, but you also have the experience as well. That's why you're also running for office.
Yes.
And so
And
you have a good
my
combination.
platform is just be more transparent.
Right.
Always be on top of my phone. I can't say open door because we don't have an office,
Yeah.
but I
Maybe
mean,
you
like
can work
always
on that.
a call away.
Now, if people want to reach you, where can they find you?
My phone number, it's open to the public, and it's my personal phone. It's 956-635-9388.
You understand you just gave the phone number to thousands of people.
Yes, and you know what? That's the commitment I have for my community,
Good.
to be there for them.
Okay.
And I'll be a reachable city
Good.
council, that I will not ever hide behind a phone. And I'll be always there to answer their questions, whether
There you go,
it's a
folks.
popular answer or not.
Yes, no, there you go, folks. The folks now have your phone number, and I'm sure you'll be getting phone calls because certainly that's going to be one of those contested races. And it may go all the way through December if there's a runoff.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
So who knows? But certainly now you have the phone number. We look forward to seeing you again.
Oh, I thank you, Judge, so
Thank you
much for the opportunity.
thank you for coming. We look forward to seeing you again. And like I said, I was just talking to her off the air, so to speak. I told her that we may just call it the last minute because sometimes we do have some cancellations. So
Right now, I am a stay-home mom.
Okay.
And
are you
that's,
doing this full time?
I'm doing city council full-time, Judge.
Okay.
And that's the beauty of it. I'm dedicated for my community. And if given the opportunity, I believe this is the first time
Okay.
District 1 will have a full-time city council.
Well, we look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Judge.
for making it.
Appreciate it.
We'll be right back after this short break. Thank you for coming. Welcome back to the show. We now have another guest from City Council District Number 6 candidate, Mr. Rick Laurel. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, I appreciate you making it at the last minute. I know you are a very busy person, but thank you for making it. Now, explain to us, for the voters out there, what area is District 6?
District 6 is pretty much north of Del Mar, on the McPherson side, on the east side of McPherson, north of Del Mar. On the west side of McPherson, it goes up to International, and with the new redistricting, everything north of that, 35 to McPherson, and then McPherson down to Del Mar, all the way to the Loop, everything north. That's District 6.
Now, if you do have a question, I would imagine a voter will just call you.
Definitely.
And you can more or less tell them.
My phone number is on my Facebook page. I have an email address, everything. I get messages all the time.
So people can find out.
accessible. Yes, sir.
But let me ask you, what do you do for a living?
I'm a licensed customs broker.
So as a customs broker, obviously international trade is extremely important.
I've been in international trade for 22 years.
And
I'm a
as
licensed
I
broker.
understand, it keeps growing in Laredo and it's going to need more space even for more traders.
It's not going to stop.
It's not going to stop.
gonna stop.
So what, obviously it doesn't quite affect you because you're obviously on in the Del Mar area, there's no truck route out there basically.
Well,
But that's changing. I
that's
mean,
changing.
people still work over here on this side and we're still a small community per se.
there is an industrial park in my district.
Oh, there is. Which
Yes.
one is that one?
The one by Harley Davidson. The
Oh, that's right. That's the one way
right.
outside the loop.
north of the Loop on McPherson.
Right, right. So, what do you recommend? What do you suggest? What are we supposed to be looking at? As
Well,
voters?
As voters, we need to make sure that we're picking the right candidates. There's going to be a lot of candidates that are going to be out there that are going to be using a lot of big buzzwords that we need a clean house and I hate to use the drain the swamp, but I've heard people say that And really, if you're going in with that mentality to go in and clean house and fire people, that's not my way of working. We have a lot of bright people that work at the city. We have to go in there and make sure that everybody has the tools that they need to be able to succeed at their jobs. I run a multi-million-dollar business, and it's my job to make sure that my employees have that. I have an accessibility and access to whatever it is they need to get their job done.
Well, do you see yourself as a city councilman, see yourself as a policymaker and not necessarily a person going in there and making some changes? Or
I am not a micromanager. I know exactly what my job is. And as a city council member, your job is to find the right city manager to manage those situations that a lot of these
what do you think had
people
happened?
want to manage themselves.
We've had about 6 city managers in about 8 years. What does that say?
Micromanaging, people not staying in their lane, not knowing what their job is supposed to be, not letting the city manager manage. The city manager's job is to manage the city. Our job is to put policy in place, put somebody in that position that knows and is qualified to do the job.
Do you think you have the way of creating consensus with the city council?
Of course.
And making them understand those things?
Yes, unlike other opponents that are running for city council, I get along with a lot of people. So whether we disagree or, it's gonna happen that we disagree. It's normal. It's business. I disagree with my people at work and I'm their superior or vice versa. And you have to work. Yep, it is what it is. But using data, using information, and not talking or shooting from the hip, you're gonna be able to steam forward.
How do you feel Dr. Martin Martinez, from what I understand, basically did a decent job, as I understand? Do you have any issues with the way he did that? I'm not looking for are there any projects that you would like to pick up that Dr. Martin Martinez was working on, or any particular projects you want to work on in your particular district?
Well, obviously see through the connection of Springfield, which was started in these last 4 years, and Congressman Cuellar has been very, very helpful with that also. But future projects that I would like to work on is the connectivity of McPherson and International northbound.
Right.
We have to connect. There's mile marker 13 has a big industrial park out there too.
Right.
So which is also District 6.
Wow.
Yeah, mile marker 13 is on the east side is District 6.
Is that the one that's owned by the city? Or that's not owned?
No, that's not owned by the city. No. That park is private. There are 22 to 2,500 square acres, I'm sorry, in the back part that were purchased by a development company.
Wow.
Now, can you imagine adding so many more warehouses to that place already?
We're going to, again, the city is growing and we need to find leadership. We need to get one city manager that's going to help us move forward.
Right. So lucky for us in District 6, we're expanding outwards.
Yes.
So we're not landlocked in with other districts around
And
us.
you don't have any problems with the water for the most part?
Well, no, we don't, thank God. So we have to really look forward and progressive vision to see how we're going to expand, make sure that the connectivity is there. The last thing we want to do is cause more congestion and less routes north, south, east, west. So with the vision of international trade, I work in District 7 and I live in District 6. So I understand the heartache and the pain, the headaches that it takes to get home. I live 5 miles away from my office and it takes me 45 minutes to an hour and a half. 5 miles. So it's trailers, it's everything, and it's part of the city.
Yeah.
And I love what I do.
I've always said District 7 is the engine of the city, because that's where all the big businesses are at, and that's what keeps everything going.
And they're doing a good job. They're expanding Mines Road and the development and connectivity east and west between Mines and 35 is coming. So what I'm going to be focusing on is connectivity with expansion in District 6.
Because you have international trade experience. Does the bridge in South Laredo a viable project?
I am.
Or is that one of the things you're gonna look at, or?
Of course, it's going to be something that's going to pop up in these next 4 to 8 years, and I'm ready to look at the data and sit down and talk about the pros and the cons. I do not make decisions just based on hearsay. So if it's beneficial for the city, of course. If it's going to make us more revenue, definitely. If it makes
But you're also
total
gonna listen,
sense.
you're gonna listen to the big freight forwarders, you have to listen to the international companies.
I have to listen to everybody, from the bigger to the smaller. It doesn't matter. Everybody has my number, and everybody can call and talk to me. So I have to listen to all sides: the business side, the personal side, the development side, the county side, of where we're gonna. You cannot have a bridge without an outer loop. You cannot start one without the other. So there are many, many, many different projects that we need to see.
Well, there's a lot of stuff that we need to
There
talk
are.
about, but
The city's growing, and the sky is not falling.
no,
The
exactly.
sky is
Everything
actually
that-
the limit.
Right, the sky is actually the limit. You're right. There's a lot of projects for Laredo coming up, and we need to start talking about it. We need to talk about it,
Right.
but we also do need forward-looking councilmen and a mayor who can get the consensus, hopefully, and bring everyone together.
Right. So I plan to be the first customs broker, or the first person that represents international trade in city
Oh,
council.
really?
There
That's
has not been
never
one.
been one.
No,
I'm surprised.
there has not been
After
one.
so
Many lawyers and many doctors and many everything, but no, not a customs broker
Not a customer.
or a freight forwarder or transportation.
Well, that's gonna be interesting. We'll be looking at it. So we'll be seeing you again hopefully in September.
Yes.
I'll remind everyone, these are taped interviews for the month of August. However, we will be going live beginning sometime in September. We are looking for a co-host, by the way. So if you do know someone who would like to participate, who's knowledgeable about Laredo businesses, Laredo political affairs, speaks English and Spanish, someone who wants to ask fair questions, not personal attack questions, please apply. I want to thank you again for
Thank
being
you.
here. This was actually just an introductory visit with us.
Yes. Definitely.
I look forward to seeing you again in September, October, and November.
Yes, sir.
Now, I don't think there's going to be I think there might be a runoff, right? I mean, considering all the number of people.
There are 5 candidates.
Yeah.
My hope is that there won't be,
No,
but
but there might be.
yes,
So
all great.
we're going to be seeing you all the way through.
Thank you.
And I appreciate the fact that you're talking about the future. That's exactly what we should be talking about, the future about Laredo, and not about personnel issues as much as what the future highlights for Laredo. We need to look at the future. I'm telling you, the 8 to 10,000 traders are coming to Laredo in the next 6 to 8 years. I'm telling you, if we do not get people who are not talking about the future, we're going to end up making the mistake again of probably just removing. We're going to have a carousel of city managers.
Unfortunately, people are just need to look forward, not
Yes.
not
Okay.
back.
Thank you so much. for
Thank you
being
very
here.
much. Thank you.
Thank
sir.
you. Until next time, I'm Jesus Garza, your host. We'll see you next time at Laredo Border Chronicles.